So it is now mid-October, going into the last 2 weeks of October. The driest month of the year is October on the North American continent. We are about 4 weeks out from regular duck season. We're excited about it. The ducks are beginning to come out of Canada. They've come out of Canada, the Canadian prairies, the Dakotas, and their southward migration has begun. To us, it's a big event. But bigger than that, far bigger than that, I'm out here. The fog has now lifted. It was cool this morning, crisp, lower 40s for Louisiana. That's cold. I've been speaking to y'all and I've given you 778 little short lessons. I'm here to proclaim good news. I'm proclaiming good news. I'm now on my just shy of 50 years doing that. I am but a lowly spokesman, proclaimer for the invisible one, the God of heaven. There's been more proclaimers leading up to 2021 years when all of this unfolded. I told you beginning in Genesis, going through Malachi, Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming. The whole block from Genesis all the way until you get to Matthew, where we talked last week. That was 2021 years ago when Jesus showed up. Roughly 700 years before that happened, I've reminded you what Isaiah the prophet said, which is worthy of note, and which most members of the human race in a place called the United States of America, most people who hear this do not understand it. It's like seed sown along the path before you get to the field. And the birds come and they eat it up and it disappears. No crop. The seeds fell on the way down there. So I'm nothing but a seed sower. I'm sowing seed. In the parable of the sower, Jesus said, the first kind of person who hears what I've been telling y'all, it falls on all kinds of different ears. If you don't understand it, you don't understand it because the evil one has snatched away what was sown in your heart. I plant the seed. A mighty throng rejects it outright. The centerpiece of what Isaiah and all the rest of the prophets had to say, the centerpiece, begins in Isaiah 53, Lord, who has believed our message? I just wonder how many of you have believed our message. I say no more than Isaiah said. And we will talk about what Habakkuk said. Who's believed our message? To whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? Somebody grew up before him, God, like a tender shoot. Here's a description of the one that Isaiah talked about and that I'm still talking about 2,700 years later. This is 700 BC, give or take a few. He grew up before him like a tender shoot, like a root out of dry ground. Whoever he's talking about had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him. He wasn't much to look at if you just saw him. You would say, nothing stood out about him. Not a handsome individual known for his looks. Nope. Nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by men. Lord, who has believed our message? I would just hate to tell you how many people have said, get that Bible out of my face. And we tell the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And the first group is a huge group. Get it out of my face. I don't want to hear it. He was despised by men, a man of sorrows, familiar with suffering. Ha, that's an understatement. Like one from whom men hide their faces. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. When he finally showed up 700 years later, you would think the human race would do what I did. Heard about him, never seen him, just read the scriptures about him. I'm in. I want in.